Some singers had a voice. These 10 had a weapon. One of them made grown men cry with a bandana and a guitar string. One of them got booed off a stage as a teenager and came back to fill stadiums. Number 10 built an entire television empire out of a sequined suit. Let's start there. Number 10. Porter Wagoner, the man who sold the show.
Porter Wagoner!
Before the song, picture a living room in 1962. The television glows blue in the dark, and out steps a man in a suit that looks like it caught fire and kept burning.
What do you got behind?
Rhinestones from collar to boot. That's Porter Wagoner. And before Nashville understood branding, before country music had personalities, Porter understood one simple truth.
For that time of the month, and I was always so embarrassed I would just almost cry when I would have to do it.
People don't just want to hear a song, they want to watch someone believe in it. His syndicated television program ran for 2 decades, beamed into small-town living rooms across America. A country variety show built entirely around his stage persona, his banter, his showmanship.
Flowers! Oh, my Lord.
Here's what most people forget. Porter's biggest legacy on stage wasn't even his own performance. It was who he put next to him. In 1967, he brought a young, largely unknown singer onto that stage as his duet partner. Her name was Dolly Parton.
Smile from the inside out. Black makes you.
And the platform he built, that sequined, unapologetic, larger-than-life stage, is the one she'd eventually outgrow him on. The showman who taught country music how to perform ended up remembered in part as the man who discovered the performer who outshined him.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go look at him.
All right, now this
Number 9 also understood spectacle, but his was built on something far more dangerous. Raw, unfiltered heartbreak.
Thank you. I love you, and I look so forward to this. And we're going to sing some directly, ain't we?
Yes, we.
Number 9, Conway Twitty, the voice that emptied wallets, not just charts.
Well, if you took all our guests, our next guest's records, including his 50...
There's a reason venue owners loved booking Conway Twitty, and it had nothing to do with radio play. Conway wasn't a flashy performer. No pyrotechnics, no costume changes. What he had was presence.
Complex. Yeah. And it's unusual because my home is there, and I have 4 young adults.
A low, aching delivery that made an entire arena feel like he was singing to one specific person in the 3rd row. He racked up dozens of #1 country singles across his career, a run of chart dominance that stood as a genre record for years. But the number that mattered more to promoters was simpler.
It's Twitty City. Here is Conway Twitty.
Ticket sales. Conway understood something most artists chase their whole careers, that stage presence isn't about volume, it's about intimacy at scale, making 10,000 people feel like they're the only one in the room. He eventually built his own entertainment complex.
I mean, do you have any special plans to celebrate 25 years in business?
This is my 25th.
Twitty City, essentially turning his stage persona into a physical destination people could visit. A theme park built on the emotional intimacy of a live show. Number 8 took that same idea of intimacy and set it on fire, quite literally reinventing herself in front of a camera.
Sir, and I'm going to do a few of those things that I've never done before. Still a new face for television after 33.
Number 8, Reba McEntire, the redhead who rewrote her own rules.
Well, I remember it all very well, looking back, it was the summer.
For the first decade of her career, Reba McEntire stood at a microphone stand and sang. Talented, respected, forgettable on stage. Then came a song about a mother's desperate, painful sacrifice. And Reba didn't just sing it, she staged it.
18, we lived in a one-room rundown shack on the outskirts.
She acted it out, night after night, turning a 3-minute song into a full theatrical performance. That reinvention coincided with her being named the CMA's Entertainer of the Year.
She said your paws runned off and I'm real sick and the baby's gonna...
One of the genre's most competitive, performance-based honors. Recognition not for her voice alone, but for what she did with it live. Here's the twist most fans miss. That theatrical instinct didn't stay in country music.
They'll be nice to you. And she said, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me...
It's the same instinct that eventually carried her into network television and Broadway. The stage presence came first. Everything else followed it. Number 7 took Reba's theatrical instinct and scaled it up to something country music had genuinely never seen before. An arena rock spectacle with a Nashville accent.
The welfare people came and took the baby, mama died in a...
Number 7. Shania Twain, the woman who made country music loud.
For the cause of human rights around the world, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Leopard print, a headset mic, a stage built like a rock concert, not a county fair. In the late 90s, this was not what country music was supposed to look like. Shania Twain's Come On Over era didn't just break sales records.
We get there someday, they said.
It broke the unwritten rule that country performers stayed still and stayed humble on stage. Come On Over remains recognized as the best-selling studio album by a woman in any genre, a staggering commercial run that reshaped what a country tour could look like and what it could sell out. What people forget is how much resistance she faced for it. Purists called it too pop, too polished, too much spectacle. But the audiences kept coming. Turns out too much was exactly what a generation of fans had been waiting for. The genre that once prized restraint on stage was rewritten by an artist who refused to stand still. Before we get to number 6, if entries like this are keeping you hooked, hit subscribe on Retro Vibes. Every video here is us trying to keep these stories, the real ones, not the sanitized versions, from disappearing. Country music history deserves better than a Wikipedia footnote. Now, back to the countdown. Number 6, George Strait, the man who never needed to move. No pyrotechnics, no costume changes, no banter. Just a hat, a band, and a man standing almost perfectly still. And somehow, that stillness filled a stadium. George Strait built an entire stage persona out of restraint, at a time when country music was chasing bigger and louder. He didn't chase it. He let the songs do the moving. When he staged what was billed as his farewell tour, the final show drew one of the largest attendance figures ever recorded for an indoor concert in the United States. A genuine record-breaking crowd for a man who barely raised his voice on stage. That's the irony sitting at the center of George Strait's stage presence. In a genre increasingly built on spectacle, the single biggest live turnout on this entire list belongs to the quietest man on it. Number 5 didn't need volume either. She needed something rarer. Total, unguarded honesty. Number 5. Loretta Lynn, the woman who refused to perform a version of herself.
In a cabin on a hill.
No choreography, no polish. Loretta Lynn walked onto a stage and just told the truth, out loud, in front of strangers. Her stage presence wasn't built on spectacle.
Rock the babies at night and read the Bible by the cold.
It was built on the audience's certainty that every word she sang, she'd actually lived. Her autobiographical songwriting, chronicling poverty, marriage, motherhood, and defiance,
Mommy scrubbed our clothes on a washboard.
became foundational to how country music tells women's stories, and it's inseparable from how she delivered it live, plainly, directly, without apology. In an industry constantly polishing its stars,
Feel a hoeing corn. Mommy rocked
Loretta's refusal to be polished was the performance. Authenticity, it turns out, is its own kind of stagecraft, just a much harder one to fake. Number 4 turned that same honesty into something warmer. She didn't just tell the truth on stage, she made you feel like family for doing it.
needs to get the money somewhere.
Number 4, Dolly Parton, the warmth you could feel from the cheap seats.
Back through the years I go wandering.
Dolly Parton could walk onto a stage of 80,000 people and somehow make every single one of them feel like she'd pulled up a chair just for them. That's the trick almost nobody else has managed. Massive scale, zero distance.
Wondering once again. Back to the season.
Big rhinestones, bigger wig, but never once did the audience feel like she was performing at them instead of with them. That same instinct for connection eventually built her into one of the genre's most bankable live and business forces, culminating in her own theme park.
The kiss. My coat of many colors.
An entire
that
physical
my
space designed around the warmth of her stage persona. Here's the part people underestimate. Underneath the sequins and the self-deprecating jokes about her own image is one of the sharpest business minds in the genre's history. The dumb blonde bit,
could be in my coat of many colors. Mama.
her words, her joke, her control the entire time. Number 3 didn't manufacture warmth. He manufactured endurance, a stage presence built on simply refusing to stop. Number 3, Willie Nelson, the outlaw who turned endurance into legend. Red bandana, battered guitar with a hole worn straight through the body. Willie Nelson walks on stage looking less like a superstar and more like the guy who's been playing your porch for 40 years. Is exactly the point. While the rest of Nashville chased polish, Willie built a stage persona out of looking like he didn't care about polish at all. Road-worn, unbothered, entirely himself. 4th of July picnic shows became legendary marathon events, gathering artists across genres onto a single stage for hours, turning a concert into something closer to a cultural pilgrimage. Looked the least like a showman on this entire list, ended up becoming one of its most enduring symbols. Proof that stage presence isn't about how hard you try to command attention. Sometimes it's about how convincingly you don't. Number 2 didn't just command a stage. Number 2, Johnny Cash, the man in black who performed for the forgotten. A prison yard. Rows of inmates who'd never been treated like an audience worth performing for. And Johnny Cash walked out anyway, looked directly at them, and said 4 words that needed no further introduction. That live prison recording became one of the most iconic performances in American music history. Not because of theatrics, but because of who he chose to perform it for, and how seriously he took them as an audience. Cash built his entire stage identity around solemnity, in a genre that often rewarded charm. Dressed in black, delivering songs about outlaws, addicts, and the condemned, like sermons rather than entertainment. What's easy to miss is how deliberate that image was.
Flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns.
The all-black wardrobe wasn't an accident of style. It was a stated stance, a quiet protest performed night after night in front of audiences who came expecting a show and left having sat through something closer to a reckoning. And that brings us to number 1.
Oh, but the fire went wild.
The artist who took every lesson on this list, the spectacle, the intimacy, the danger, and scaled it into something no country stage had ever held before.
Down, down, and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns.
Number 1. Garth Brooks, the man who turned country music into a full-contact sport. Smashed guitars, wireless headset mics borrowed straight from arena rock. A man flying on a harness above a crowd that came expecting fiddles and left thinking they'd witnessed a stadium tour built for a completely different genre. Garth Brooks didn't tweak the country concert, he detonated it. He brought the physical, sweat-soaked intensity of arena rock shows into a genre that had, for decades, prided itself on restraint. The commercial result of that risk is almost unbelievable in scale. Garth Brooks is recognized by the RIAA as the best-selling solo artist in United States recording history, with total certified sales that place him ahead of some of the biggest names across every genre, not just country. Here's what makes that stat land differently once you understand the stage presence behind it. Those numbers weren't built on a quiet, respectable catalogue. They were built on an artist who treated every single live show like it might be the one that made or broke him. And that's really the thread running through this entire list. Porter Wagoner's Rhinestones, Loretta Lynn's refusal to fake anything, Willie Nelson's road-worn calm, George Strait's stillness, Garth Brooks's harness flying over a crowd that didn't know what hit them. 10 completely different approaches. 10 completely different definitions of what it means to command a room. But every single one of them shared the same underlying belief, that the moment you step into the light, the audience deserves everything you've got, not just the notes. That's the part chart numbers can't measure.
Rizzo, have a wonderful weekend. Be kind to one another. Bye-bye.
And the reason we still talk about these 10 performers decades later. Because a hit record can play in the background of somebody's life, but a truly great stage presence, people remember exactly where they were standing when they saw it. That's stage presence, that's legacy, and that's country music at its most alive.